Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for joining us.
Topping our news tonight, a deadly shooting at the Fort Lauderdale Airport in South Florida.
5 people are dead, 8 others injured in the shooting. ABC's Victor Oquindo joins us live for the latest on today's shooting at the airport's baggage area.
We are less than a mile away from Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, where security is very tight. Right now, police believe that the person they have in custody acted alone, but to be careful, they're going through this airport inch by inch, and right now it's confirmed. 5 people are dead, 8 others injured. Panic and pandemonium at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport.
I had a perfect picture of him coming and walking up and down, shooting the people.
Witnesses in shock, describing a shooting rampage inside the baggage claim area at Terminal 2, calling it a scene out of a movie.
I saw people running away from Terminal 2 and police arriving.
The first reports of shots fired appeared to come in from police already at the airport.
Multiple victims down.
One of the victims bloodied.
The active shooter shot at least 13 people. 8 people, as I know right now, are in area hospitals being treated.
This as hundreds of passengers, confused and scared, are seen running onto the tarmac as ambulances race by, and numerous law enforcement officers in tactical gear rush to the scene, quickly taking the suspect into custody.
Once he was done with ammunition, he basically threw the gun on the ground, and he laid on the ground face down, spread eagle. So he was already down. He was waiting for the officer to approach him.
Sources say that the suspected shooter is Esteban Santiago, and he was carrying a military ID on him at the time. Also, ABC News has learned that he was apparently, they believe that he was acting alone. Also, he is speaking with detectives. Right now, no official word on a motive. Victor Oquindo, ABC News, Fort Lauderdale.
And the situation in Fort Lauderdale causing safety concerns for those on the Sun Coast. Here in Sarasota, airport officials are working to keep security tight. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley spoke to Sarasota Bradenton International Airport's president about his plans to keep those travelers there safe. Christopher.
Good evening, Haley. There is a noticeably higher police presence here at the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. Airport Director Rick Piccolo telling us earlier today that officers with long guns have been posted both outside and inside the airport, with a special emphasis on the baggage claim area. That, of course, is where the shooting in Fort Lauderdale took place. 6 months ago, the airport added more cameras. They added more officers with long guns. That was done in the aftermath of the Brussels airport attack. Obviously, even more security is in place today. It is important to note any member of the public is able to walk into both the ticket counter and the baggage claim area without going through security. However, as of right now, police are keeping a much closer eye out.
We've increased the presence of the tactical officers and their long guns here in the terminal, and we'll continue that practice until we get better intel on exactly what was the motivation, what happened in Fort Lauderdale, and then adjust our procedures if we have to after that. But right now we have a lot of tactical officers with long guns in the area.
Enhanced security will remain in place for the time being. Throughout the night, there will be officers posted on duty to maintain passenger safety. Live at the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thank you. And as more developments come into our newsroom on that shooting, we'll bring them to you. In other news here at home, a roadside shooting this morning in Northport sends 1 man to the hospital. It involved men who were in 2 separate vehicles. ABC 7's Rick Adams is here with more on the story. Rick?
Yes, Scott. It happened after 7 this morning. Details continue to come out as to exactly what took place.
This was the scene Friday morning where a man was shot at the intersection of River Road and US 41 in Northport. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says the shooting occurred while this truck and this SUV were in the turn lane on River Road.
What we know right now is that the individual who did shoot the other person was inside his vehicle. We understand that the individual who was shot was actually standing outside in the northbound turn lanes, the left-hand lane of River Road.
The victim remains in stable condition. Investigators are trying to figure out exactly what prompted the shooting.
We're unsure if these two parties knew one another or if it was completely separate. We don't know their relationship, so we want to be careful with what we call this.
The crime scene did cause a traffic backup. For some curious drivers, they couldn't believe a shooting happened on this road.
It's terrible. I moved out here to be away from things like this, so it's very sad to hear.
And for others, they didn't seem too shocked.
Everyday people become more angry with what's going on. They get frustrated, and unfortunately, if they have a gun, it can be expected almost anywhere around here.
No arrests have yet to be made in the shooting. If you saw or heard anything, you're being asked to contact the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office immediately.
And authorities are continuing with their investigation. As soon as we receive more information on this, we'll certainly pass it along. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Millions are under winter weather advisories today. Right now, people from California to Massachusetts are in the grip of Arctic air. In upstate New York, conditions are so bad, many have had to abandon their cars in lake-effect snowstorms. In the south, people are bracing for a wintry mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain tonight. Alabama, Georgia, both in emergency mode at this point.
As you can imagine, the storms are affecting hundreds of flights, including many here on the Suncoast and in the immediate area. At least 3 delays were issued for travelers at Sarasota Bradenton International Airport today. Those delays beginning mostly up north toward New York's JFK Airport and in Boston. But with snow expected in part of the Carolinas as well, officials are warning passengers ahead of time to be prepared.
I'm like, oh my God, maybe I can stay an extra few days in Florida.
Sometimes it's a pain in the butt, but it is what it is, and that's the price you have to pay to go to New York.
It's going to be an adventure, and hopefully it's not too long of a day.
Officials are urging any passengers who are delayed to be patient while waiting for their flights. Also utilize many of the apps that the airlines have to keep you up to date with the latest information on your flight status. Always a good idea with these to call ahead, because sometimes they can switch you, they can change your itinerary to make it fit better so you won't be sitting at the airport forever.
Yeah,
so give them a call.
Yeah, you don't want to be sitting there for too long.
Right, definitely not. Well, now it's time to take a look at our weather. No snow in the forecast, luckily, but Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan is joining us from Lakewood Ranch.
It's Music on Main time, Bob.
That's right, Music on Main. Soul Sensation right now getting warmed up. They begin at 6 o'clock, and folks have been looking up at the sky wondering, is it okay? It's okay. Come on out, enjoy one last night here where you don't have to worry about a jacket or a sweater. Tomorrow night, different story. At this time, wind chill advisories will be in effect for the Suncoast. We're talking wind chills tomorrow night and Sunday morning in the mid-30s. So yes, it is warm here now, but things are going to change. As far as the folks getting ready, you can see the chairs already set up. A lot of them at the restaurants are walking around in some of the fine shops here, and they've staked out their position for tonight's great music with Soul Sensation, a very popular band here around town. I know Dickie V hires these guys all the time for the big gala. Here's what's going on as far as our weather goes. Currently it's 73 degrees, lots of clouds, but no rainfall around right now. And as far as the temperatures go, they'll stay pretty mild through this evening. Winds have not changed all that much. They're still out of the south. They will eventually be changed more to a westerly direction tomorrow and turn more northwesterly on into tomorrow night. As far as the radar picture goes, look at the snow and rain as far south as Louisiana tonight, into Mississippi, and all the way up into Georgia, starting northwest Georgia, getting some rain snow mix there. For us, we got to keep an eye out for the area just to the west of us. You see the area of the circle, showers and storms well offshore right now. They are pushing off toward the east at 10 to 15. We will keep an eye on that. The rain chance, again, not all that high for this event. The music starts off at 6, goes until 9 o'clock tonight. I think most of it should be okay, so come on out and enjoy one last night of some pretty warm weather here for at least a couple of days. Well, much more in the forecast coming up a little bit later. Back to you guys.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. New developments tonight on a fatal tent collapse in New Hampshire. A Sarasota-based circus operator that faced charges from that deadly collapse has agreed to a plea deal. Walker International Events agreeing to pay federal safety fines and settle lawsuits. Previously, the circus pleaded not guilty to a felony charge of operating without a license and to misdemeanor counts alleging it hadn't complied with state standards. The tent collapse happened at a fairgrounds in 2015, killing a father and his 6-year-old daughter. A storm with 75-mile-an-hour winds blew that tent over.
Sarasota County is looking to get ahead of the electric car craze with a new program. The county is launching a program called Charge Up. It's expected to boost the number of charging stations across the county. If you're looking right now at a picture of one of these that is outside Selby Public Library. The program will cut down on the cost of buying and installing new stations. It's a move that officials say will make it easier and more affordable for businesses to add them for public use.
What we're going to do is provide a rebate of up to 50% of the cost for the purchase and installation of the charging stations. And this is coming from pollution recovery trust funds, which means that it's good for businesses and for the county.
Sarasota is currently the second county in the state with the most electric cars. 2 public workshops will be held later this month to learn more about these charging stations and the entire program. The first one is January 24th. The other is a webinar the following week.
More and more automakers are coming out with these electric cars, and people seem to like them.
And they need a place to charge them.
They do, yeah. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the infamous SeaWorld orca, known for its involvement in the death of a trainer back in 2010, has died.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be joining us live from Music on Main with your full weather forecast. Plus, following backlash over an email, one Sarasota City Commissioner is issuing an apology.
When New South Window says Factory Direct,
it means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct prices.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Fort Florida Home.
By Florida workers.
Because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get the 3rd free, plus our lifetime warranty. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Sarasota Institute of Lifetime Learning begins its 46th season on Monday, January 9th in Sarasota, Venice, and Lakewood Ranch. Meet Blair Tyndall, author of Mozart in the Jungle, on Monday, January 9th, and information and intelligence expert Terry Roberts on Tuesday, January 10th. 72 global issues lectures by renowned experts, 24 musical conversations with great performers. Tickets are on sale now. For more information and to purchase season tickets, visit SILLSarasota.org.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction. Spend time choosing from exciting colors, textures, and accessories, and then collaborate with one of our expert designers to create the perfect custom storage solution to fit your style and budget. At California Closets, we design everything to exceed your expectations for any room in your home. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the nearest showroom to you. California Closets, designed to your life.
The orca profiled in the controversial documentary Blackfish has died.
SeaWorld Orlando reporting that this morning the Tilikum died from a persistent bacterial infection. In 2010, the orca killed a trainer by grabbing her by the hair and pulling her into the pool and drowning her. He was also involved in the deaths of 2 other people back in the 1990s. Tilikum's appearance in Blackfish sparked outrage about keeping killer whales in captivity at SeaWorld parks. The orca sired 14 calves at the park. Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan is looking to lend his hand in foster care. The Family First Prevention Services Act will address serious issues with the current foster care system, including child abuse and neglect. Buchanan hopes this new legislation will help children stay at homes with their families instead of being placed in group homes or foster care.
Sarasota City Commissioner Susan Chapman was out this morning showing her support for Sarasota's fire department. Chapman appeared at a broadcast by radio personalities Maverick and Lulu from 92.1 CTQ this morning at Morton's Gourmet Market on Osprey. Her appearance comes following backlash over an email she sent to city officials. This was something that prompted this live broadcast. In the email, she reportedly suggested that ambulances and fire department vehicles should be ticketed for driving through truck-restricted residential neighborhoods, including Orange Avenue. Chapman issued an apology for what she said in that email.
We've all heard about the email just in the last few days. And of course, you know, it's just sort of shocking. You don't expect to see communications like that from elected officials that actually suggest something like, you know, ticketing an ambulance for going through a neighborhood. It's just kind of bizarre.
There was a banner seen here for people to sign and show their support for firefighters.
But the apology is out there at least, right?
Right, and maybe we've cleared the air now. Yeah.
Time now to check back in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
He's joining us live tonight from Music on Main in Lakewood Ranch. And Bob, so glad that this is happening tonight instead of tomorrow night with the weather that's slated to come in.
Yeah, you'd be freezing your tail off, so to speak. Well, I'm parking mine right here. Got the best seat in the house. Some of the folks went out to eat the lunch, but I'm just sitting and took over their chair. Not too bad tonight, really, looking pretty good. Although the clouds are around, there's not any rain at this point. There could be some light rainfall coming in the next couple of hours, but the heavy stuff won't be here until after this event is over. By the way, the music starts at 6 o'clock. We have the Soul Sensations on the stage tonight, and they are a great band. Let's go to the maps to show you what temperatures look like right now up and down the coast. We are not looking too bad right now as far as temperatures go. Currently, you can see the water temperature is still very warm for this time of year, and temperatures right now into the mid to upper 70s, the low 70s as well in Cortez. Or if you're right on the water, a little bit cooler, upper 70s well inland. Well, the weather headlines read like this. Storms late tonight. We're talking the bigger storms. Now, there is a slight chance, ever so slight chance, for some rough storms overnight. Not much, but they're there. And the storms will last through the morning, mainly showers with a few isolated thunderstorms, and then get a look at the wind chills. 30s on Saturday night and Sunday morning. So if you have early tea time on Sunday, you might want to reconsider. I don't know. You wear a lot of jackets or hats and gloves. Sometimes you need that with these kind of fronts. Here's that rain and snow all the way down south now to Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, even into the Carolinas tonight. And more snow is on the way for the deep south. The storms out ahead of us, out ahead of the front actually now, just off the coast of Florida, those are heading in our direction. They're not all that intense right now, but could be, as I said, later on tonight. You can see no real threat of any significant rainfall here for the beginning of this event, but by the time's end, the end of this, which is 9 o'clock, there could be a few light rain showers around, not anticipating anything too rough at this point. Well, out west, things are looking a little bit better there. That major storm now has moved into the deep south, and things aren't looking too bad in the western states. And as far as the northeast goes, you can see some snow showers in Boston earlier today have moved out. What the problem is there is the bitter cold. It has spread off to the east and to the south now. The bitter cold is the biggest thing that they're dealing with right now. Let's get a look at these temperatures. It's 30 in Boston now, but that's going to change tonight and tomorrow. 14 in Toronto, the same in Cleveland and Detroit. Minneapolis at 5 only. So this is truly winter, and it is going to be moving in our direction. 33 in Atlanta right now, and it's 18 in Denver. Factor in the winds, and it pretty much is 0 in St. Louis, Cleveland. It feels like 26 in Atlanta, and all the way down to 32 in New Orleans. And that's what we're going to be dealing with, by the way. The wind chills Sunday morning will be into the low to mid 30s across our area. Now here's a look at the forecast from this particular model. It's showing the intense line of storms moving across north central Florida at 4 o'clock. We'll get some showers out ahead of it like we've seen so far in the Gulf of Mexico. And then moving through us anywhere from, say, around 6 a.m. up until about 10:30 or so. That line will be moving on through. You'll see some heavy downpours, possibility of some lightning. The severe weather threat, though, is not all that high for us. We'll show you that a little bit later in this newscast. But behind it, that's when the north winds come in, and they come in strong and blowing in the coldest air of 2017, and the coldest air of the season, for that matter, for Sunday and even into Monday. And here's the forecast. For boaters, not very good. A small craft advisory in effect for our waters all the way through Sunday. Seas up to 6 to 8 feet. Rough conditions out there. The water temperature now is 72. And yes, expect some showers and storms around. The UV index at a 2. So not very good for tanning tomorrow. Low tide 647. High tide will be at 251. and another low tide at 8:38 tomorrow morning. Storms late, increasing clouds. Already got that, and 68, so still pretty warm. South winds 10 to 15. Tomorrow, you'll see those temperatures fall throughout the afternoon as winds pick up out of the northwest, showers and storms in the morning, and then slackening off by the afternoon. And the extended forecast is calling for much colder air on Sunday, highs only into the upper 50s. It'll feel colder, too, because of that wind coming out of the northwest. But that's a Florida winter right there that you see on Sunday. It's about as cold as it gets during this time of year. Well, much more on Music on Main, our weather forecast as well, coming up a little bit later. Back to you guys.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. In Suncoast Traffic Watch right now, traffic's moving pretty smoothly in most areas and most roads of the Suncoast, but right near downtown Sarasota along US 41, you can see a lot of red on the map, especially along 301 as well after the split there at 41 and 301. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, a mother and father's weight could affect a child on a mental level. According to a study released this week by the National Institutes of Health, researchers found that children whose mothers were obese may be more likely to experience motor skill problems, and those born to obese fathers may be at a greater risk of social incompetence. Those children born to extremely obese couples may also be worse at problem solving. An at-home test can help people learn if they're getting anything out of a particular workout. Researchers suggest in the journal PLOS ONE to measure your fitness level before starting a new fitness regimen by quickly stepping onto and off of a box or climbing some stairs. Then check your pulse to get a baseline number. After a month of exercising, do the test again. If your pulse rate hasn't gone down, you might need a different type of workout. Researchers found that people who didn't respond well to endurance training did respond to interval training, and vice versa. Based on genes, some people may require higher intensity workouts. Cancer deaths are on the decline. The American Cancer Society reports since 1991, deaths from cancer have fallen by 25%, meaning more than 2 million lives have been saved. In the last decade, the rate of new cancer diagnoses fell by about 2% annually in men and remained the same in women. The cancer death rate in men and women fell by about 1.5% each year. Researchers say this is in large part thanks to improved screening guidelines and falling smoking rates. Coming up on your Suncoast News, drivers were not expecting to have to dodge this specific thing as it rolled to them in oncoming traffic. Pretty scary right there. Plus, astronauts at the International Space Station taking a spacewalk. That's next.
D7 News at 7 weeknights.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Don't miss the 19th annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, January 5th through the 8th, to benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. This year's festival welcomes special guest Blue Oyster Cult to the premier sports campus at Lakewood Ranch on January 8th at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Festival events include a sporting clay tournament, kickoff party, welcome Thunder event, Cruise for Cash charity motorcycle ride, and a 2-day Rockin' and Riding at the Ranch festival featuring vendors, live music, a Taste of Thunder area, and more. VIP tickets are available. For tickets and info, visit thunderbythebay.org.
Not something you see rolling down the road every day.
Thank goodness. A giant spool of wire fell from a truck on a Pennsylvania interstate, and it did not stop barreling toward oncoming traffic. Ross Gadati has that story.
Living in Uniontown, but from Alabama originally, David Cole has seen much driving across the country. But something like this?
Not in all my traveling, I've never seen nothing like it. Seen a few accidents, but nothing quite like that.
Cole shot this remarkable video of a massive wooden wire spool rolling down Route 40.
As I come around the corner, I seen a spool of wire heading down the middle of the opposing lane.
The reel likely rolled off the trailer that you see desperately trying to keep pace as gravity does its thing.
It was probably about 8 to 10 foot across, and I would say, just guessing, a couple thousand pounds. So it's a pretty good size roll of wire. I was probably going at probably up to about 20 miles an hour, and it was leaving me way behind.
Cars in the opposite lane dodging the big wheel of wood and wire. Cole thinking the entire time,
this is going to be bad if that hits one of those oncoming cars.
Watch the video and you're going to see that Cole had a bit of a wheel to deal with on his own.
That was a spare tire. Yeah, that was a spare tire that was on the trailer, and that's the trailer I believe the spool had actually come off of.
The spool eventually stopped, but not before it tried to jump back over the Jersey barrier. Amazingly, that is the only thing the big wood wheel of wire impacted.
We do a lot of traveling and a lot of hauling too, and that's just that's key, is making sure your load's secure. And obviously they didn't have the right equipment there. Luckily, everybody was okay, but it was pretty crazy.
Astronauts took a spacewalk this morning to hook up new batteries on the International Space Station's sprawling power grid. Among those on the job, Peggy Whitson. She took her 196th spacewalk, which tied the record of NASA's Suni Williams for the most spacewalks by a woman. Flight controllers from Houston had already completed much of the work using station robotics. Can you believe they can do that? Control it from Houston to outer space.
I know.
That's awesome.
Install something.
Right.
That's cool.
Still to come on your Suncoast News.
New data shows a surprising number of car crashes from drivers not moving over for ambulances, police cars, and other vehicles re-entering the road. We'll have the details coming.
Thinking about having surgery can be a scary thing. And it takes somebody who's in severe pain, bring them in, take good care of them, and then get them out and back to their life is huge. We focus on minimally invasive approaches when possible, and oftentimes people can be back up on their feet in a day or two with a whole lot less pain than before surgery. We fix people's lives. We do.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
The official salon of ABC7. Letting loose salon.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction. Spend time choosing from exciting colors, textures, and accessories, and then collaborate with one of our expert designers to create the perfect custom storage solution to fit your style and budget. At California Closets, we design everything to exceed your expectations for any room in your home. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the nearest showroom to you. California Closets, designed to your life.